Francis,
Yes.
welcome to Between the Lines.
Thank you for having me.
It's a big pleasure.
Oh.
I wanted to let us discuss maybe a couple of topics today, but firstly I want to know who's Francis, where's Francis from, and how is Francis that he is now working at Renault Bloemfontein, in short.
Yeah, well, in short, basically, after school I went and studied marketing.
Good choice.
Yeah, well, it depends on who you ask.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it was my mother, she would have wanted me to become an auditor.
Also good choice.
Also good choice. But yeah, after varsity, did a couple of sales jobs, Virgin Active, all that stuff. Eventually ended up in the motoring industry 18 years ago.
You still look good, huh?
That's long.
Yeah.
That's long. Yeah, burgers and chips is suiting my constitution quite well.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and then started with SsangYong. People who don't know SsangYong, it was a Korean SUV brand way back when.
Long ago.
Yes, if you 80s baby, you would remember Ituba spinner wheel competition. You can win a SsangYong Musso. So that was a lekker.
The older audience that we talking.
The older audience that we're talking to. If you go then went to used car selling at Avis Car Sales. It was still called Zida back then.
Everybody should know Avis, hopefully.
Yeah. And then ended up with Renault, and never looked back in terms of the motoring brands that I sold. That was the brand I stuck with. I haven't left the brand in terms of going to another vehicle brand. Got out of the market a bit for a short while into insurance.
But they say if the bug bites you in the motor industry, it is something
yes.
You never get out of it.
Yeah, if you're in it, you're in it. And being a bit of a petrol head myself,
also helps.
Yeah, also helps. So yeah, but I stuck with Renault. It's a lekker brand. There's basically something for everybody. So yeah, 12 years with Renault.
And it's international. I mean, it's something that if you ask anybody, they would have heard about the Renault brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anywhere. I mean, Europe, I know, is a big space. That's actually where the brand originated.
Yes.
Europe, France.
That's it.
I know if you're looking at, always what I remember is that value for money. So what you pay versus what you get is always your value is always a bit more than what you actually pay for the car. Yes. Renault has a lot of where you would, as another brand, need to maybe add something extra.
Yeah, it's a lot of options. You've got like tick sheets that you have to
do.
With Renault, you basically just, the tick sheet is already filled
there.
in.
Yeah. It's something that already comes standard with the car.
Exactly.
That actually is very nice. Yeah. So you say you've been with the brand for very, very long.
Yeah, 12 years. So yeah, the brand's been treating me well. I've got a passion for the brand. I think it's a good product in terms of what it offers. And there's a lot of changes coming soon in the brand as well, with new stuff coming in that we've never seen before, and hopefully that revitalizes the interest again.
Something
as well. Because I think you're missing out if you haven't driven a Renault.
And the thing is that there's so many options nowadays with regards to having other brands coming into the market and all of that. And I think at the end of the day, if somebody is wondering why Renault, why this, why that, I mean, it's a household name. It's something that we used to. It's something that's been in the country forever. I mean, somewhere when you were a child, somewhere there would have been an auntie or an uncle, someone that drove.
My mother drove 2 Renaults, so I grew up with a Renault 5 and a Renault 9 before they left the country back when. So so that was a brand that I physically grew up with and that I liked. I mean that already is nice, and it's got a awesome F1 heritage, in racing heritage. And it's a brand, I mean, 130 odd years? Something like that. In existence. So it's not a wishy-washy brand that's been making cars for 15 years and now they think they know what they're doing. They've been physically building cars for 130 years.
And tell me something, we spoke about this off air with regards to the turbo that was invented by Renault.
Yeah, but they patented it, I think it's 1902, that they patented the turbo, which I mean revolutionized air travel back then, because they supplied it, they sold the patent for commercial use to a Swedish aeronautical company that built airplanes. Which was awesome. They patented the first direct drive gearbox system, so that's the gearbox we basically still use in all cars. I mean that came from, so it's an innovative brand, and they put stuff in the car that's new and fresh. And then a lot of the time we forget, for instance, multifunction steering wheels. The Renault Clio was the first car ever to have that. Before Bentley, before S-Class Mercedes-Benz, they figured, and what's interesting enough is they didn't even put it in as a luxury feature. They put it in as a safety features, so that
hands on the steering
wheel the whole time. So you can just control it. It's the intuitive controls. I know there's some journos that don't like the buttons behind the steering wheel, but I can vouch that 100% of the clients that's got that system in their car at the moment, if you put them in a vehicle where all of a sudden the buttons are on the front of the steering wheel, they feel lost, because that just works a lot better for them.
And I think because of that, because it was behind the steering wheel, and we're not going to go into too much detail on that specifically, but because it's behind the steering wheel, you know exactly where your buttons are 100% of the time. If you're going to be turning your steering wheel, getting out your driveway, and you've got a call that's coming through, now you need to answer the button, the Bluetooth button or whatever, you're gonna struggle because your steering wheel is upside down. So the nice thing is, at a central point, you know where it is and it works from there.
You click on top, and
so we know that the brand has grown, and like you've said, it's there's some new stuff that's coming through. I think government is buying into this hybrid system. Eventually we're going to be looking and talking about the EVs that's also coming. EVs is the electric vehicles. It's full on in Europe. And then maybe just lastly, Francis, I know when you're looking at international cars of the year, Renault is so much in the mix there, especially in Europe.
2 in a year now, eh? I think the Megane E-Tech won it, and now the Renault 5 electric also won Europe Car of the Year, which is awesome, and it's currently the top selling EV product in Europe. And then Dacia is now an affiliate of Renault, but it's basically the Renault product that just uses the Dacia brand name
in a specific area.
And then the Dacia Sandero Stepway, number one selling product, number one selling passenger car in Europe. How awesome is that?
It's wonderful. Francis, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having
me. We're going to take this secondly, thirdly, we're going to carry on with this. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Thanks a lot.